Hi guys, my name is Dia and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to be or become hot. So being hot is not just based off your looks, it's also based on how you carry yourself, what type of energy you accept into your life, what type of energy you project onto others, how you conserve your energy, how to protect your energy from negativity, and so on and so forth. My first point that I have for you guys is that you have to give yourself life goals. If you don't have any life goals, you are going to be so bored with your life. You're gonna feel like you don't have anything to do with this life, because if you think about it realistically, if you can just stay in your bed, rot all day, and just do nothing for the next 80 years of your life, you could do that. But if you do that, you're gonna be so bored that you're gonna feel like you don't have a purpose, because you're not doing anything. You're just sitting in your bed and just like doom scrolling. And no matter at what point you are in your life, you always need to give yourself goals. Whether it's if you want to start reading more, learning a new skill, maybe playing the piano, starting to eat healthier, starting to quit addictions, and all of these things. Once you start to give yourself goals, you are going to feel like you have a purpose, that you have a meaning, that you actually have something to achieve and to look forward to. Because if you don't have any of that, then your life is going to be boring as hell, and you are not going to feel the need to wake up every morning and, strive for something and go after something. For example, for me, I put a lot of goals into my life that I want to achieve this within a year, I want to achieve this within a few months, so on and so forth. That's what's really getting me going. Like, I'm just thinking to myself, if I don't get this, if I don't get what I want, if I don't do the progress it is to get to that goal, I'm gonna feel like an absolute failure. I'm gonna feel like a loser, because I'm not keeping promises to myself. I'm just telling myself that I'm gonna do some things, and like how everybody else does it, they want to become rich, become a millionaire, become this. Everybody wants to be something, but they just don't put the work into it. So I know that if I don't put the work into my goals, I'm gonna feel like an absolute failure. And motivation is never gonna work for you guys. Motivation can only last for like a day. You actually need to be disciplined. You actually need to put yourself goals, because that's the only way you want to progress in this life, because nothing comes for easy at the end of the day. And as long as you love the progress to things, as long as you love every single step of the way, you are going to love the process, and then you are going to see results. So that's why whenever you are starting a new goal for yourself, you need to learn to enjoy the process. And honestly, depending on what it is, if you love doing something so much, sometimes you want to chase after something that was never meant for you, which is totally fine. You never go after something that is like not meant for you, or that you genuinely don't like, because it's not meant for you, and then you're gonna feel like you're forcing yourself into doing something. So never chase after that. If you feel like there's a skill that you really love to do, or there is like a hobby that you really love to do, just keep doing it every day. And maybe, for example, if you want to start reading a book, but you are a terrible reader, as in like you just don't like to read, if you just feel like you are like that, just give yourself maybe 2 pages a day and do it for every single day, and then you're gonna see that you finished a whole book that you've been wanting to read. I feel like anybody who has goals in life are just automatically attractive. Becoming magnetic is through intelligence, through self-respect, through standards, and so on. If you want to become magnetic, you have to have self-respect. You need to know what you deserve in your life. You need to know what your value is. And if you know what your value is, then you're never gonna let somebody step on top of you. Like if somebody's treating you badly, you're never gonna accept that, because you know that you don't deserve to be talked to like that. You know that you are a hard worker, especially if it's from people that is complete opposite to you. But becoming magnetic is becoming intelligent, emotionally and socially intelligent as well. You need to know how to talk to people. You need to know how to bring up conversations, how to have long conversations. I know for some people it's very hard, because some people are introverts, which is totally fine. If you want to start talking to people more easily, what I would always do, I told myself there's no point of being shy, because there's so many people out there that are not shy, that are just like so outgoing, and at the end of the day, you only have one life, and you have to take the most advantage out of your life. What I do to start conversations is you just talk about them. Talk about the other person, because everybody loves talking about themselves. If they're interested enough, you're going to talk about yourself, and then they're going to ask you questions about yourself, and that's how you get a conversation going, and they're going to feel like you care about them. Always make sure you have self-respect, no matter what it is. Never do anything that you think that is below you. Never do anything that you are not comfortable with. Never do something that you don't want to do. Have the self-respect to say no. You know what you want out of this life, and you know how to go after it. You know what you are doing with your life, and you know what you deserve. Also, another point to that is that never be desperate. If you are desperate, it shows. It really shows if somebody's being desperate. If you talk to somebody just out of your interest, if somebody talks to you just out of their interest, it's gonna show. I'm telling you guys, energy is never a bullshit. When you feel something that is off, something is definitely off. If energy is never ever wrong. The next part is master emotional control. Never beg after somebody, never chase, never overreact after somebody. But if somebody just doesn't want anything to do with you anymore, which they're lost but you can't do anything about it, then never chase after it, because you're begging them to stay with you. Then it's never gonna feel authentic. You're just gonna feel like you begged them to stay with you. If somebody's just leaving you and you don't understand the reason, if you have like a friendship breakup, you never understand the reason, and it's like they half-ass the excuse, and obviously sometimes you crave for explanation, you crave for wanting to know what was really going on in that person's head, but you know, you can ask for it. Like, you know, what's wrong? What can I improve myself with? How can we fix this? They just want to get out of a friendship or something. Never force them. It's not attractive. It's like you're desperate. Next one is that you always need to pause before speaking. Whenever you have a conversation with somebody, but if you are an impatient person and you just want to speak what's in your mind like right away, but somebody else is speaking, it's just gonna show that like you only care about what you have to say. You have to be so grateful to be able to have a conversation with somebody, because they are taking the time, the energy, their thoughts to formulate something to be able to speak it with you. You have to be grateful that it's happening, that somebody has or feels the need to want to talk to you. They feel in a way that you are important or relevant to them in their lives, and they just want to be able to talk to you. The next point is take care of yourself like you matter. Sleep well, have a healthy diet, work out, do your skincare, take a nice shower, exfoliate, whatever it is, this whole process. Just take care of yourself like you matter, because you do matter. You have to understand that the biggest investment in life is on yourself. Whether it's you're investing on your knowledge, you're investing in university funds, you're going to school, or if you're investing on your appearance, that's very good as well, because it can also help you with your confidence. Stop watching other people on YouTube or on TikTok or on Instagram, other celebrities taking care of themselves, because at the end of the day, it's them making the money, not you. How do you expect to go through the hardest times of your life if you cannot even put 10 minutes onto yourself? No matter who you are in life, always be humble, because snobbiness always screams insecurity. Nothing wrong with them, but it's just the way that they like to project their success. They like to scream it. If you are humble but you are a successful person, then that's what is emotionally mature and intelligent. Because I've met so many successful people through my current job, and a lot of them are super mature and are super humble and just talk to me like a regular human being, while others just try to put me down. Do I care? No, but you could see which one is in the higher position here emotionally. Next thing is to learn to stop oversharing. Keep things private in your life, and nobody needs to know your whole entire life. I used to do this. I used to be a very open book to people, to my friends especially, even to people that weren't really my friends, but I was still pretty much of an open book. Because what was happening there is that I thought that like I needed everyone to hear my story, because I thought everybody cared, but it's just they don't care. And also another thing is that you are trying to show something that you don't necessarily have. Also, sometimes you never know, but people can just use things against you. If you are oversharing to somebody that is the wrong person, they can literally just manipulate whatever you said. It's also not a very attractive thing to do. Okay, the next one is to be selective, because attention is easy, but access is earned. You have to figure out who you want access to your life. You cannot tolerate any bad person into your life. You cannot tolerate anybody with a bad energy or anybody that tries to put you down, because it just drains the living shit out of you. You need to really know what type of person this is, and I need to know like how they treat other people, how they treat me, how they treat their friends, their family, because I know that if somebody treats somebody in a bad way, I automatically know that that person's gonna treat me the same way. If you see disrespect, just run from it. From no matter who it is, it's never because of you. It's just because they have character problems and they just don't know how to treat people. They're gonna not only do this to you, they're gonna do this to everybody they know. And then sooner or later, you're gonna realize that they're the ones who lost everything and not you. The next point is to always be confident alone. So this point is actually really funny to me because a lot of the times when somebody bullies somebody, they're always with a group of friends. But once they're alone, they just don't do anything. They don't say anything to that person. Once they are with their group of friends, that's the only time where they feel confident. They don't know how to stand with themselves. And that's what's so funny to me. A lot of the times, like, whenever somebody bullies somebody, it's just projection. Next is make your words valuable. Quality over quantity. Whatever you say, whatever comes out of your mouth is how you are perceived. The next thing is to learn how to make eye contact with people. If you don't really know how to make eye contact with someone while you're speaking to them, it's not very much of a confidence thing. It obviously takes practice. Once you learn how to master eye contact, they're going to see that you are in control of the room. You can read a lot about a person based on their eye contact. The next thing is to never over explain your worth. If somebody insults you, never question your worth, okay? Because if the person doesn't see your value, then you're not going to be able to fix it. They're just never going to see it. And honestly, who cares? If the person doesn't see your value, then they're not meant for your life anyway. The next point is to stop people pleasing. Never always say yes to somebody, because then that's the number one way how people take advantage of you. If you're wondering why people take advantage of you for being too kind, that's why. Because you always say yes. And honestly, you need to learn how to stand up for yourself and say no. You are thinking about it more than they are thinking about it. My next point is don't be easy to impress, because being selective shifts your energy. Have your own opinion about things. Never follow somebody else's opinion even if you don't agree with them. Create loyalty with your friends, your loved ones, and your family. Creating loyalty with them is such an important value. If somebody else doesn't trust you, then how will you be able to trust yourself? My next point is to never, ever be the second option. If somebody is treating you like you are their second option, you are just gonna seem desperate, because it's basically like they're telling you that if it doesn't work out with somebody else, it's gonna work out with you because you're my second option. Where is the self-respect that we talked about here? Next point is to have emotional standards. Always think about how somebody makes you feel. If somebody makes you feel like they treat you like garbage, if somebody makes you feel drained, if they don't talk good about anybody, if they don't talk good about you, if they just don't benefit you in any way, honestly, draining your energy is such a waste of time when you could be putting your whole energy into something better. Never put your energy onto something that's not worth it. The next part is to be respectful with your time. Make sure people are respectful of your time. If you ever talk to somebody and you just feel like something isn't working out, just tell them straight away, look, I don't want to waste my time here. I can, just find something better for myself. Or for example, if you're supposed to meet up with somebody and they're running late, let's say like 30 minutes late, it's an absolute disrespect for you. They wasted your time when you could have been doing anything better with your time. And you need to make sure that you set boundaries and that you need to have limits. The next point is to never argue with a wall. If you are genuinely hurt by something and you are arguing with somebody to fix the problem, but you guys have a little argument, whatever, and that person is just fully ignoring it, they don't care, they're not even texting you back, never argue with the wall, because it seems one-sided and it seems like you are the one trying the most here. They just don't want to be there, and then it seems desperate. So never ever argue with a wall. Try to read the room. If somebody doesn't answer you in so long, or if somebody just doesn't want to talk to you, then just leave it as it is. Trust me, if somebody didn't want to let it be, if somebody genuinely cared about saving the potential relationship or friendship or whatever it is, then they would put their energy into trying to fix it. The next point is to build competence. Building competence builds confidence. Once you reach to a level where you want to reach, like let's say for example you reach to a level where you know how to talk like a CEO, or a lot of things. It could be freaking space, or it could be about sports, or it could be about how to bake a nice cake and how to memorize the recipe. It could be about anything. Competence is about anything. It could be about literally any aspect in this life. If you learn how to master it, it goes back to my first point, where you will know who you are as a person and you will build confidence within yourself. Competence is just when you learn about something and you learn about it so well, you deep dive into an aspect, you deep dive into a subject and you learn it so well That's what's going to give you confidence. The next point is to protect your peace. Protecting your peace is the most important thing because it saves so much of your energy, it saves so much of your time. If you think about it like this, if you waste a lot of energy onto something, you're going to feel more tired, you're going to feel more drained, you're going to feel like you don't really want to do something. But once you start saving and conserving energy, you're going to feel like you can do a lot of things because you have a lot of energy. My next point is be internally driven. If you want something so bad and you feel like you can't breathe without it, then go after it. Stop hanging out with losers who literally just don't benefit you in any way. A lot of the times we say this, whoever you hang out with is most likely the person that you are, or is most likely the person that you will become. If you genuinely want to have a good life, then try to start finding people that also want that good life. Try to find people who are aligned with your values. If you've hung out with a lot of people that at the end of the day didn't benefit you in any way, you're gonna start to feel like their behavior was normal because that was your normal, and you are going to subconsciously follow their actions, follow what they're doing, and then it's gonna make you into a loser. My next point is to make vision boards. So I love vision boards so much because whatever I put on my vision board has happened. And here are a few examples of vision boards. I'm going to put them on the screen. Genuinely, without realizing it, you are going to follow what you want on that vision board because you are going to see it every single day. That's the point of the vision board. You either put it on display on your wall, or you can even put it as your wallpaper. That's how I have mine. Obviously, don't put unrealistic things on there. Like, nothing is unrealistic, but don't start by putting huge goals that you can't achieve in like 3 days. Start by putting smaller goals that will help you achieve into that bigger goal. My next point is to never chase, but just attract. My next point is to start showing gratitude to the small things. Start, showing up for people that you care about. When things go, they come around. And start showing gratitude to the smallest things. Like, a lot of the times we want so much, but we never appreciate what we have already. And that's such a big problem for most of us, especially because of consumerism. Be grateful for the person that you have become today. My next point is to stop pretending to be someone that you're not. Stop playing pretend. Humans are the #1 bullshit detectors. We can tell when somebody is bullshitting. We can tell when somebody is not being authentic. You can just read energy, you guys, and I don't think we realize that. My last point is to stop doing destructive behavior in your life. If you are an addict, if you eat junk, if you don't respect your sleep schedule, if you make promises to yourself but you never keep them, all of these things, if you keep doing it every single day you're gonna feel worse by the day because you're like, today I could have gone better, but I just chose not to. I just chose to keep doing this. The day where you start choosing that I want to no longer become like this, and then you start setting mini goals for yourself, like, I'm gonna stop eating junk food for like a day, and then you complete it for a whole day, and you're gonna feel proud of yourself, like, oh my god, I just did that for a whole day. And then you're gonna do it for 2 days, you're gonna do it for 3 days, you're gonna do it for 4 days. And once you start setting up small goals for yourself every single day, that's when your life is gonna change. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe if you guys like watching this type of content. I post every single week, and I always post about, becoming the best version of yourself, becoming the hottest version of yourself. I post vlogs too. I'm gonna start posting more vlogs because my summer vacation is coming up in 3 weeks, and I'm gonna start posting about that. And yeah, I'm just ready for the summer, and I'm ready for finals to be over. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe.